Hello and welcome to the Whiny Moms podcast, a place where moms can whine and have some wine after our kids go to sleep. This is a judgment-free zone where moms can be moms, can be ourselves. We can share laughs and we can share the struggles that we find ourselves in every day. Hello.
Hello, Whiny Moms.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. You know, we had a busy week, so just kind of getting settled from all of that.
Yeah.
We had our early Christmas celebration with my mother-in-law, and she just left this afternoon or this evening, so you know, the kids are a little sad.
It's nice she got to come stay with you guys for the week, though. That's cool.
Yeah, she was here for her 10 days.
How'd your pre-Christmas go? Your early Christmas?
Our Christmas, it was nice. We cooked like way too much food. We cooked enough food for like a party. We had like meatballs and we made steaks, ribeyes. I made a big pan of mac and cheese. We had baked potatoes, shrimp cocktail.
I love shrimp cocktail.
Cake, pie, and like the whole 9 yards.
Nice. Yeah. Just freeze it. Freeze the leftovers. You can eat it again.
Yeah, we ate again. Leftovers tonight. We opened, the gifts that she brought and gave her gifts. The kids were excited about that. And then they did a whole Christmas dance routine to the Rockin' Christmas. What is that?
Was it Rocking Around the Christmas Tree?
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
It was pretty funny.
So cute. Oh my God, I want to see a video of that. Did you take a video?
I did.
I have to send you the video of my kids singing still too.
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
So cute. That sounds so fun.
And then we all sat down and had dessert and then started watching Christmas Story, but we were so tired. Everybody was passing out, so we just
Well, I guess we could just get right into this Christmas episode with what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Chardonnay.
Nice.
I can't remember the name. I got it at Trader Joe's, but it's not Trader Joe's brand this time. But I can't remember what it's called. It's pretty good. What are you drinking?
Sake. The cheap one. I can't remember what it's called. It starts with a show. It shows something. It's good. It's not bitter. It doesn't have much flavor, but it's strong.
Yeah. It's strong and drinkable. That's all that matters.
Indeed. I did some cookie baking today. I went to my sister's house. We baked a shit ton of cookies. We made like 3 different cookies. We made 2 different cookies each, and then we made a big batch of sugar cookies. So,
are those to like give out as Christmas presents, or are you guys just baking them for Christmas?
We baked them. Well, I baked them for gift giving. I think she was doing some of that too. And then I left some for her and she gave me some of hers. We did like a little exchange, and then I'm going to give them to my parents for Christmas. And then I was like, you're going to get some of these back for Christmas. And probably to like my in-laws and stuff. And then some just for the family. We made a lot.
Good sister bonding time.
Yeah, it was fun. Let's see. I got to hang out too because my daughter had a Girl Scout event that my husband took her to. So it was just the boys with me. So I actually got to like have a little bit because she's little and clingy. So I got to like spend some time with my niece and nephew who are both younger than her.
Yeah.
Who I usually don't get to pay attention to at all because she's all over me. But that was kind of cool. So for our Christmas episode, everyone obviously is, well, I guess some people don't love Christmas, but this episode isn't for you. So leave.
Right.
You know, like Christmas, just go.
Why
you can come back later. Everyone else who's still left. Yeah, let's talk about some fun Christmas stuff. Let's do it. What are your favorite Christmas traditions? I don't have transitions. I'm sorry. This is not very well planned.
So we like going, there's a raceway that's a few minutes away from my house. And they have like a Christmas light thing that they do. So they'll put up like this big old Christmas light thing you can drive through.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we've been doing that on a yearly basis. We were going to do it last night, but we got too tired. So we'll probably do it sometime next week or right before Christmas. But it's fun. You like turn the station to the Christmas station that they provide for you, and you just drive through it. And it's like different themes, like they have like a dinosaur theme, they have a Barbie theme, they have like just basic Christmas, it's really neat. The girls enjoy it. We do that every year. That's what we've been doing here since we moved. We would normally like go see like Christmas lights, like drive around the neighborhood and stuff. We haven't found like that one neighborhood, So
Yeah.
we found this spot and it was very, it's
That's
10,
really
15
cool.
minutes away from our house. I think it's like $10 to pay, to go through it, and you just drive through it, and it's about like a 30-minute thing.
Did you ever go to that thing at Cal Expo that they do every year?
Mm-hmm. It's similar to that, but like in a car.
Yeah. Like I finally went this year. I've never been before because I'm fucking cheap. And I'm like, I'm cheap. Okay. I'm Scrooge. There it is. It's Christmas time. I'm not really Scrooge, but in this one instance. So we finally went this year. And oh my God, it's so much cooler than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be lame, but it was amazing. There was like this forest you walk through that has like these hanging flowers, and
yeah,
they're all lit up. Oh my God, it was like in a fairy wonderland. It was the coolest thing. I'm so glad that we went.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. It's just a little pricey.
It is, especially like for all 5 of us, it was like over $100. So if it's like, oh, you just like 2 or 3 people, whatever. But I'm like, this is an investment. But you know what? It was worth it.
Yeah, that's like my next Christmas tradition is the ice castles in Cripple Creek. They're doing them this year.
That sounds badass.
And yeah, it's like $100, but
Oh.
But it's very neat. It's like these like ice sculptures that they carve out, and there's like castles, there's ice slides, there's like all different types of things that you walk through, and it's all like lit up.
You like walk through the castles?
Mm-hmm.
That's so fucking cool.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to take videos of that.
I will, and I'll post them. It's a very cool place. It's a little pricey, but it's worth it. The kids love it.
I'm trying to think what other traditions I have. Like, I don't know. What else do you have?
We always take the girls ice skating because there's a lot of ice rinks out here. So this year we went to one in Denver. It was nice. We usually go to the one here in town, but we wanted to try something different. So we went to the one in Denver, and it was just like kind of crowded, but the girls had fun. There's a huge Christmas tree in front of it, and they play Christmas music. And
I love ice skating.
Mm-hmm. And then from there we went to this like Christmas like festival kind of thing. They had like all these like food trucks and like little like like food vendors out there, and it's all like European, like German food, Scandinavian. Nice. And they have like big pretzels and all kinds of different stuff. And then the Capitol is all lit up, and it's right there too. So that's fun.
We always go to our Christmas tree lighting. Because different little, where I live, there's a lot of little suburbs that are all like our own city. So we all have our own little Christmas tree lightings. Yeah. So there's every weekend there's a different one going on. I'm sure it's like that in a lot of places. Yeah. This year my kids got to sing at one of them, so that was the one we went to. And it wasn't the one we normally go to, and there wasn't any like food trucks or like stuff going on. So I was kind of like, oh, this one's kind of shitty. But so we were gonna go to another one on that weekend, and I literally forgot about it. And then halfway through the week, I was like, I remember what we were supposed to do on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is so disappointing.
Yeah.
So like we technically went to one, but it wasn't what it normally is.
It's fine. I'm sure they enjoyed it.
We got to do the countdown and have the tree turn on, and that's always fun. I think that's like our thing that we do every year is we go to the Christmas tree lighting, and then just like family traditions, like we always listen to carols and put ornaments on the tree together, and we get like little chocolates and stick a hook through them and put the chocolates on the tree with the candy canes and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Because I used to do that when I was a little kid. So you get those ones from like Dollar Tree that come in like the netting and it's like little Santa and snowmen and stuff. And little bells. You just shove a hook in there and hang it on the tree.
Yeah, my girls did the candy canes and we did the tree together. That was fun.
Obviously, another Christmas tradition. We're going to talk about Christmas movies, but I have kind of a twist. I didn't tell you about the twist. I feel bad. The twist is because, okay, we talked about Christmas movies during Thanksgiving episode, but I ended up editing almost all of it out. So we're going to talk about it now. The twist is you have to pick your favorite all-time Christmas movie, and then you have to pick like a favorite one like with your kids, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Does that work? Is that okay? Or you could just do like 2 that you like. I don't care.
I think one of my favorites is The Christmas Story.
Yeah.
For my kids, they like it, but they're not like super into it. Their favorite is Home Alone, all the Home Alone movies.
That's so fucking random.
I know. They love them though.
That's so weird. I tried to, because we put Home Alone on for them today when we were baking cookies, and they were just like, did not care. I'm like, those are my kids right there. So I was like, yeah, they can watch that one. I don't care if I miss it. Like, I'm not attached to it.
Yeah, my kids love those movies. I don't know. They've always been into them.
Christmas Story, though, is classic. Like, one of those ones you just grow up watching, and it's like the most random fucking movie.
It is random.
It's so random. Like, most of the movie, you're like, what am I even watching? What is this even about? And then you're like, at the end, oh, it's a Christmas movie. Okay.
I love Ralphie.
What's your favorite part?
Ralphie. My favorite part is when he comes down in the bunny outfit. I think it's hilarious.
That is too much. I didn't even get that until I was an adult. I'm like, oh, I see what's happening here. So this kid is like, what the fuck? Okay. There's 2 parts I really like in that movie. The first part is when his little brother goes and hides in the cupboard. And his mom's just like, this is totally a normal thing. And she's just like, would you come out for some milk? Or like whatever the fuck she does to like lure him out of the cupboard. And you're like, you don't even really think about it. It's such a weird mundane moment. But watching it as a parent, I'm like, that is
real
like
life.
so real. Like that moment where his mom's just like totally calm about it. But she's like, I know like if dad comes home right now, he's going to be in trouble. So like... And then the second part is when those crazy ass dogs run in and steal the fucking turkey.
Oh yes, that's a good one. Yeah, I love when the little brother. I can never remember the little brother's name, where he's like super like bundled up in his coat, and he's like walking like this, and he falls over.
He's like, oh yeah, that poor little kid. No, and like also there's another point where he has to go to the bathroom. He's in there like doing the code. When Ralphie's in there doing the code, his mom's like, your brother's got to use the bathroom. And as a kid, you're like, oh, whatever. And she's like, he's about to fucking have an accident because he literally just got potty trained. Get the fuck out of the bathroom is what she's actually saying. I love their mom. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's really cool.
That movie is so good. It's so real.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then we watch like the, like classics like Rudolph and Frosty, like Rudolph. The original ones, the cartoon ones.
My favorite one of all time is It's a Wonderful Life. We used to watch that every year with my dad, every year on Christmas Eve. They used to play it on, I don't remember what network. It would come on every year at Christmas Eve at 9 p.m. And we would watch it. Or 8 p.m.? I can't. In the evening. It was kind of late.
Before bed.
We'd watch it. Yeah, it was kind of late. And then after that, I'd have to go to bed. And I love that movie. And like, it has dawned on me as an adult that it might not actually be a Christmas movie. Because I always criticize like Home Alone and Die Hard not actually being Christmas movies.
Right.
They're just movies that happen to happen at Christmas. But I found a defense of my main movie here. Ghost stories are actually central to Christmas and always have been. So bam, it's a Christmas movie. It's got Christmas magic. Deal with it, guys. End of story. I rest my defense. I feel like my kids don't really have a favorite Christmas movie. I don't know, they're kind of lame.
Don't say that.
That's rude. Okay, my kids don't really have a favorite Christmas movie. They're kind of like, I don't know, they're just not as into it. But my favorite like newer Christmas movie, I'm going to talk about it again, is Arthur Christmas because I edited it out and I have to talk about it again. We literally just watched it and I'm like so amped.
Oh, yay.
Okay. If y'all haven't seen Arthur Christmas, you need to watch it. It's really good. But it's basically about like Santa is retiring and his son's taking over and his son treats Christmas like a military operation. And then his other younger son, who's all awkward and stuff, like is not like that at all. And a gift gets left behind and he like moves heaven and earth to get this little girl named Gwen her Christmas gift. And I don't know if it's because my daughter's name is Gwen or if it's because it embodies like parents' struggle for Christmas or if it's because everything going wrong and characters feeling hopeless. Like that's literally a recurring nightmare I've had my whole life. And Arthur's just like, fuck that shit. He just does what it takes. And it's a great movie. And I fucking love it so much. And I don't understand why no one knows what it is. So it's so good. It's like so fucking good. Obscure fun fact of the night. Okay, I'm done. I'm done gushing. We only watched like 3/4 of it, and it's right at like the lowest point of the movie, and my kids had to like go to bed, and I'm like,
oh no,
we're gonna finish this tomorrow.
Yeah, sit them down.
Mommy fucking needs this. Anyway, seriously though, watch it, girl.
I meant to look that up and I didn't. Maybe we'll watch it on Christmas Day.
I thought it was on Netflix, but it's not. It's actually just a Columbia picture. And I thought, because it's like, obviously, I thought it was like a British movie or something. Like they're all British.
Can I find it like on YouTube or some other streaming network?
I don't know. We were watching it on Hulu.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Hulu. Yeah, I have a Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. Okay, next in our Christmas, what's your favorite Christmas music? Okay. Are you old school or are you like new Christmas music? Where do you fall?
So I had the Christmas jazz station on.
That's random as hell.
And it's really good, surprisingly. There's a lot of songs that, there's like your classic Christmas song, but they're like jazzy.
Yeah, I can see that being good.
I enjoyed it. I really like Michael Bublé. I like his album,
Is he the one who sings the song from Polar Express? My kids just sang this about children sleeping. That's the first line that makes no sense.
He sings like every Christmas song. He's the whole album.
If you believe. Yeah, the song from Polar Express. God, I can just see my son flapping his arms because something has wings and then...
Let me look it up because I'm not sure if he sings that song or
I'm going to die. I'm pretty sure it's Michael Bublé.
Okay, so yeah, he sings Santa Claus is coming to town. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas. Like all of the traditional ones, just in his voice.
Which is Michael Bublé singing.
Michael Bublé, yeah.
So like there's like 3 stages of Christmas music, right? There's like old school Christmas carols. Like, Silent Night, fucking Wish You a Merry Christmas, all that old shit. Well, it's amazing. I love old school.
I like all of it. Like I can't really say that I like one more than the other. And like obviously I'm exploring different like generations of it. Yeah.
Well, then you have the stuff from like the 40s through the 60s, which is like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Baby.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Baby, it's cold outside. Yeah. All that kind of stuff. Like, right? Oh my God. Obviously, all of you guys know what we're talking about. I'm not going to sit here and like, okay. And then you have the stuff that's more modern, like, I don't like modern music. I'm sorry. Like Mariah Carey. Did you know that's the best, like most money-making song of all time is All I Want for Christmas Is You?
Yeah, that's why there's that meme. It's like Mariah's coming to town.
Yeah, literally.
But I mean, I like Mariah.
It's not a bad song.
They're not my favorite, Ariana Grande has Christmas music. Justin Bieber.
What is that one? Oh, fuck. I have to look it up. Hold on. Because there's this one song that is very popular, but I don't like it. But yeah, there's like the new Christmas,
like poppy music that came out in the 2000s, kind of.
Isn't as iconic as the older music, but like it keeps trying to be. And I feel like only Mariah Carey has like made it into the pantheon. She's literally the only one, except for this. Hold on, this one song. Well, Last Christmas. I hate this song.
Last Christmas,
I gave you my heart. Okay.
Who sings that?
apparently a band called Wham.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Like,
But
if
that's
anyone's
not, is that like,
yeah,
I feel like that's old.
it's from
Wham
like
is
the
old.
80s, I think.
Yeah, it's from the
If
80s.
anyone's ever worked in retail, the song is the scourge of your existence. Fuck that song. When
Yeah,
did that
the
come
Wham
out?
band, they're an English pop duo. Came out in 1981.
84.
It's got George Michael in it.
Yeah, I don't like that song. I wish I've never heard that song. It's very annoying, but that's okay. It's fine. People like it, whatever. Like the 80s through 2000, that's like another meh. Okay, the only song that I like from that time period, and I didn't even know it was from that time period, and apparently it's by a boy band. New Edition sings the song.
New Edition.
It's Christmas all over the world.
That's like a 90s pop band, right?
Yeah. You know, so it's Christmas all over the world tonight. I love that song.
So Last Christmas is actually number 1 for the last. Well, that's 2001. Never mind. Delete that.
Humanity has failed again. That's all I'm saying.
Never mind. Don't listen to me. I'm just reading off Google.
No, it is a very popular song. It really is. Like, it's hugely popular. It just hasn't made as much money as All I Want for Christmas this year.
Like
Yeah,
Mariah,
the three stages of Christmas music.
Mariah makes millions of dollars.
She literally wrote that
Every
one
year.
song and she'll be richer than everyone who's ever been alive.
That's why she hasn't done anything else. That's all she lives off of.
She's like, I wrote a Christmas song one time. I'm good to go. Just kidding. She did a lot of other stuff.
She did.
She actually has some good music, but apparently she didn't need that music. All she needed,
all she needed was this one song. It's true.
Oh, dude. Okay.
True.
As far as like old, weird, old timey like Christmas carols go,
yeah,
I kind of have a soft spot for them.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do too. They're not my first go-to, but I like, the old school, like Frosty the Snowman, and I don't know, like the real classical.
Like all the stupid little old kid stuff that you grow up with. It's so nostalgic.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Do you sing it? Okay, do you sing it? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose like a flashlight. I was singing it like that to my kids, and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "That's like singing Birthday Without the Cha-Cha-Chas." And I got to the end, and I'm like, "He'll go down in history like Columbus." Ooh, that didn't age well.
Stop.
I'm not kidding. I was doing it. I'm like hella getting into it at the end. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Well.
I mean, a lot of things didn't age well.
It's so funny.
Like the Baby It's Cold Outside song. She's like really trying to leave and he's really trying to get her to stay.
Also, though, you have to remember, dynamics were a little bit different. Where, I feel like she's okay, when I hear the song, I feel like she's being more what's that word? Passive.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of asking if you're hungry, I'm instead of saying, "Hey, I'm hungry, let's stop to eat," be like, "Oh, are you hungry?"
Right.
I feel like that's what she's doing in the song, but
she's really wanting to stay, but she's being hard to get,
She can't say that she wants to stay, and that was I think that is what they're going for in the song.
I hope so.
No, it is. It's definitely that's what they're going for. Is she's like, oh well,
she's being shy about it and flirty.
She's being coy, but at the same time, it doesn't sound great.
It's a good song. I love that song. I don't care.
Is a good song as long as you assume that she's. Which, I mean, I feel like most people always did.
I don't know. It's been recently that I've heard things about it, and it's just I never even thought about it that way.
When it's pointed out to you, you're like, "Oh yeah, I can see what you're talking about there." No, you might have a point.
It's funny.
Especially okay, you know the movie Elf?
Yes.
When they're singing that and she's literally in the shower.
Yeah. I love that movie.
So bad.
My kids like that one too.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. And The Grinch is another one that they like.
I really like A Christmas Carol, the Mickey Mouse one.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best. I was talking to my coworkers about that the other day, and she'd never seen it. I'm like,
I haven't seen that in a long time, I suppose.
She's like, I tried to watch A Christmas Carol, but it was like really long and boring. And I'm like, you watched the wrong Christmas Carol. She tried to watch that live action one they made in the 90s. I'm like, no, I can't even watch that.
No,
And I love that story.
I remember they used to put that one on at school all the time.
Oh my God, why? They did. That's what I was literally just thinking.
Yeah.
I was like in 3rd grade. Why were we watching that?
It was kind of scary a little bit, you know?
It's also just like super long and boring.
Yeah.
So fun fact number 1. Did you know that Rudolph was actually written by a guy who worked, like it was like Macy's, but it wasn't Macy's. It was like Bloomberg's or like one of those older versions of stores that don't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote the story of, I said Bambi, Rudolph. And like it was for a contest to like get it put, I can't remember exactly the details, but basically it was because his wife was like dying of cancer, and his daughter was sad that her mom couldn't like do stuff that other people's moms could. This is super sad. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so, no, it's like way more tragic, right? Okay. So he wrote the story for his daughter because he was like, oh, it's okay to be different. And you don't have to like feel self-conscious about it. So he wrote the story of Rudolph because he was different. And then the story won the contest and it got put in the magazine. And then they had him, they like basically were like, oh, we'll give you like this small amount of money for it or whatever. And he took the money and then it became this like huge sensation. And then moral twist, somehow someone ended up doing the right thing and ended up getting the rights back and making a bunch of money off of it. Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Usually people just get fucked. But no, he actually ended up getting his money back. I was going to look it up and I forgot until you just said Rudolph. I'm like, fuck, I forgot about that one. So yeah, it's like crazy. And it's really sad because like shortly after that, his like wife died and stuff. And it was just like so tragic. But now I'll never watch Rudolph the same again. Like I'll see it like in a different light because he told it to his daughter as a bedtime story when she was like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
To like make her feel better. I'm like, I'll always think of Rudolph like that now.
Yeah.
It has so much more meaning.
You're right. I like that.
Yeah. I'm going to bring it back up. That was depressing. I'm sorry. Crazy. Just like you would never think that the story would have had that origin. So next on our list of Christmas faves. Christmas faves. That's what I should have called it in the beginning, but I did not. What do you want to talk about next for Christmas faves?
I know. Christmas snacks, and we decorated cookies yesterday. My daughter made a Yule log cake. Oh my gosh, I gotta show you.
Really?
I gotta show you this photo. That's
amazing. Badass. I've never actually made one before. You have to like roll it, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, my mother-in-law made it with her. I think they bought the log already pre-made, but she decorated it and like put all the stuff on it.
Okay, so the only reason I know about these is because I watched the Holiday Baking Championship and I've never seen one in real life. Like that is so cute.
She put berries on it and candy canes, and then she put the little trees behind it and like made it seem like it was a little cabin.
That is so cute. Like we do gingerbread houses usually.
Oh yeah, we normally do those too. We didn't do that this year because last year it was like a nightmare and I ended up just making it. And
that's happened to me 4 years in a row. So this year I'm not doing it either.
So we figured we just do cookies because they're much easier to decorate. So we just bought like a cookie kit and they did the cookie decoration. And then my daughter wanted to really make a cake. Or basically just decorate a cake. But she had really fun doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. When they talk about that on the baking championship, I'm like, what is this thing? I'm from California. Your traditions are foreign to me. I don't know what you're talking about. I've literally never seen that in my life. But your mother-in-law's from California and she knew what it was. So maybe it's a generational thing.
Well, it was my daughter's idea. She like saw it on a video on YouTube or something.
Oh, okay. So it's definitely a regional thing. But where is this region?
But they sell them at stores, like already pre-made, like just the log itself, and then you can put whatever you want.
All kinds of stuff at stores,
That's true.
Like, where are you people that are making Yule logs? Is this an East Coast thing? Is it from the South? Like, who are you? Where do you live? Your tradition's awesome. It's foreign to me. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe it originates from the history of Christmas.
Well, I mean, Yule logs do, but not Yule log cakes. I have
Yeah.
not found that yet. We're going to talk about the history of Christmas.
We can look it up real quick and see where that originates from.
Yeah, do it. Let's
see.
fucking do it.
So the Yule log originates from France. Similar to the Swiss roll, the Yule log cake is made
It
of
is a Swiss roll.
sponge cake, and it's believed to be originated in France around the 19th century. And it was known as the, and I'm probably going to butcher this so bad, Bûche de Noël.
Yeah, it's cute. It has a poinsettia on it in the picture I'm looking at.
So it's French.
Apparently.
Indo-European region, it says.
I still don't know what part of America does this, but it's fine.
I know. We adapt all kinds of things.
We do stuff here.
Yeah.
We do lots of stuff here.
Lots of stuff.
We like to do all the stuff. We have fear of missing out, guys. We got serious FOMO. That's so cool. All right, well, in terms of like food, snacks, all that good shit, usually I make a ham.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really talk about main courses, but yeah, hams.
That's the only thing I can think of that's like Christmas food. Well, okay, like obviously like fudge and Hello Dollies and like, like the little cookies and the shit. But that ham though.
Christmas ham, yeah.
Now I also make yam stuffing and cranberry sauce because I decided it's too good to just eat on Thanksgiving.
I haven't really thought about my Christmas dinner and I'm slacking. Because I was already we already did a Christmas dinner, so I was focused on getting that done. And we were originally going to do like a crab boil, but crab was outrageous. So
yeah, just crab.
We decided to just do, some fancy steaks.
Anyways. Oh my gosh, I'm so not ready for Christmas. I'm just like,
me neither. I have a box of shit in my room I still need to wrap, and
I haven't even started shopping yet.
We did all our shopping this weekend mostly. We did some early on last week. I got some stocking stuffers this weekend because we had the time to go out without our kids. So my husband and I went to the store and got a few things. We still need to get a few more because it's not even. You got to have the even amount of gifts.
I'm not kidding. I have bought one gift.
Really?
Yeah, it's really fucking bad.
I know. I still need to shop for my parents. I have no idea what I'm going to get for them.
Like all week, I'm so busy with I'm like my husband is switching careers right now and he has to go through like a training period thing and he's at work for like 12 hours a day. Yeah. And on the weekends, he goes and meets with his coworkers to like study and shit. And like, I'm just like a single mom
in it
right now. And I can't go, like, I would ask my parents to babysit, but I don't know when he's going to be home and when he's not going to be home. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't even know he was doing something this weekend. And I'm like, well, that's cool. So now I can't even like plan for babysitting. Like, awesome.
Yeah, my husband works those 12, 13-hour shifts. They're hard because it's basically you by yourself for a very long time.
Yeah.
And his only days off are Sundays and Tuesdays. It's like Sunday, we spend a whole day it's like our family day. And on Tuesdays, it's like his day where he gets to relax or goes and gets a haircut and runs errands that he needs to run.
So tomorrow he has the day off to run. You have to do the Christmas shopping. Like you have to do it.
Yeah.
Like
you guys are gonna go together or
no? I have to work.
Oh, so he's gonna have to do it by himself.
Yeah, like you're just gonna have to fucking do it because you were gone all weekend and I couldn't do it. So
that's a big responsibility for him.
Fun. And he likes doing it. He usually does it anyway.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I wasn't really into it this year too much. My husband did most of the ordering, like on Amazon and stuff. Like we talked about what we wanted to get, and then he ordered it because I just can't wrap my head around putting everything in the cart, making sure it's right.
I'm not an online shopper. I just go out and see something like that.
My kids make Christmas lists, and a lot of the stuff that they went on their little laptop and looked up what they wanted, and most of all that shit was online. So
some of that too, but I'm still not that type of shopper. So like I can go and find a couple random like good gifts, but for all the fill-in gifts and all stocking stuffers, like I can't sit there and look online. I'd rather just go walk through a store and just throw a bunch of shit in my cart. So I don't have any Christmas gifts. We are 11 days till Christmas. It is too late to order most things. So
yeah, you can't order online, so you gotta go in the store for sure.
I wasn't gonna order online anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, and the other thing was I don't have any money, so I have to wait till I get paid on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, I'm gonna go buy my family gifts and do the rest of the kids shopping that wasn't done yet. So that was another big thing. So
yeah, I just got paid Friday, so that's why we did our stuff this weekend.
Yeah. So now that that fun is out of the way, yay, money. I just want to ask, has anyone ever like really sat back and wondered why we do the things that we do for Christmas? Where do the traditions come from?
Right.
Have you ever thought about it?
There are so many Christmas traditions. I just came to realize.
There's so many. And here's the cool thing. This is my favorite part about, well, I guess about history in general. And also about humanity and kind of like feeling connected. Like there's been a lot of traditions throughout the ages that we've celebrated and that we've done. And life is like an experience we all go through and we all get to go through it once. And it doesn't matter if you're alive 20,000 years ago, if you're alive right now, like we have the same cognitive ability. We're all like experiencing the same thing, just in a different scenario, a different situation, like obviously. But there's certain things that humans do that it's almost like it's like in our nature as a human. And no matter how much time goes by and no matter how much certain people try to stamp it out, we'll always come back to it. We'll always find it. And I know it sounds crazy, but when I'm done, it's going to make sense. Because Christmas, like the cardinal holidays, like, and I know you could be like, oh, in some cultures they don't have, but no, every culture does actually celebrate solstices. And that's what Christmas is. It's a solstice celebration. So maybe that's why it's so deep seated in us, because it has to do with like the sun or whatever. But,
the winter solstice. Yeah.
Yeah. But also like the summer solstice is celebrated and the equinoxes are celebrated. Like Easter is the spring equinox. Halloween's the fall equinox. Christmas is the winter solstice. And 4th of July is basically the summer solstice, which I know is a weird coincidence, but throughout the rest of the world, they have like midsummer festivals and they have other stuff they do too. So I feel like, you know, there's something there. Like there's always something there. And it seems like a coincidence, but I think it might just be in our nature to like want to celebrate these events one way or another. But anyway, Christmas. So I just kind of wanted to talk about like a brief history of Christmas because it is actually very fascinating. Starting with there are 3 basic time periods. You have your pagan pre-Christian Christmases, you have your medieval Christmases, and then you have your Victorian through modern era Christmas.
The combination of pagan and Christian traditions that have evolved over time, right?
Yeah. So like if you go back to like old European where before Christmas was called Christmas, it was called Yule in a lot of cultures, and they had other names for it too. And this is where it gets fascinating because Yule traditions were basically like, they were afraid they weren't going to survive the winter. So a lot of them were like based around warding off evil and like bringing in good fortune. So they would have things like Father Christmas, but they called him Old Man Frost or Father Winter or Old Man of the Forest. And then they would have, I can't remember her name, but there was the old lady, the hag of the forest, and she became the Yule log. And they would cut down the tree and they would burn it in the symbol of like burning the old dead. And they would try to like ward off evil with that. And that's kind of where the Yule log actually comes from.
Yeah, I read that burning of the Yule log was to bring in good luck in the new year.
They thought it had like healing, the ashes had like healing properties too. So they use it for like toothaches and stuff. And then they would keep a piece of it and they'd use it to light the fire next year. Yeah. Kind of like we do with the Olympic torch. It's really interesting. So, depending on what part of Europe you were in, like starting like on the eastern side, like the Russian Slavic part of the world, they would have it was kind of like they celebrated like the spirits, and they thought that the spirits could kind of cross over. Like think of like Day of the Dead during their Christmas Yule, whatever. They didn't call it was called, I can't pronounce it. It was very Slavic sounding word. But they would like eat Christmas dinner, and then they would leave the food out for the spirits to come eat. And they would have like their Yule log. They would like burn it like at cemeteries and stuff, apparently. I don't know if that was everywhere or just some places, but the leaving out of food was more like emblematic back then in that part of the world. And then other parts of Europe, they would do like caroling, like they'd go around and they would carol, sing Christmas carols, and they would give them a treat. And a lot of times they would be dressed in like costumes to ward off evil spirits. So it's very similar to trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating because it's actually the same tradition. It's just that in some cultures they celebrated this at the equinox, and some cultures they celebrated it at the solstice, but it's all just like a New Year's celebration. So also like getting more into the medieval period, they would celebrate for like 12 days.
Yeah.
Did you write down what the 12 days were? Because I did not.
I kind of did. The 12 days of Christmas. So they had they would wrap holly and ivy around their like spinners
and their plows and stuff.
Yeah. And it's basically everybody had the day off
for like 12 days.
12 days. Yeah. And they would get the Yule log, and then they would feast. So November it starts it's the Advent days.
It starts the Advent days, which I thought was interesting. Those started before because they would fast.
November 27th. So they fast every day. So no meat, cheese, or eggs, and no sex.
But then
they have a big blowout on Christmas Day, basically. So first is so December 24th is Christmas Eve. So they would decorate with like plants, holly, ivy, evergreens, like bay leaves, rosemary,
mistletoe.
And it was meant to like bring these like plants into your homes, and it was to bring good luck. If you brought them anytime before that, before December 24th, it was bad luck. So it's just like funny to think like how we like celebrate Christmas and decorate so early. But yeah, you're not supposed to technically.
Their beginning is our end.
Yeah, you're not supposed to bring out the tree or your plants and shit till December 24th.
Your garland and what have you.
Yeah, and then I've lost track of where I was.
That's okay. I remember kind of. They had like a different feast night forever. So the Christmas Eve was Mother's Night. And then Christmas Day, they would feast. And then they would have like Saints Days a couple days after that. And they would do this one thing where they baked a cake and they put one side had a bean and one side had a pea.
Yeah.
And the men and the women would eat from each half of the cake. They'd like cut it in half. And one person got to be the king of the bean and one person got to be the queen of the pea. And they would get to like
host the party.
Yeah. And they had like children's night where kids got to be in charge, and they had like sports day, and they had
also mistletoe. It was supposed to have mistletoe. Supposed to have powers of fertility, and that's why people would kiss under them.
That goes back to like pagan rituals though, from like way back when. That's like an original pagan thing that they used to do. Did you know that the mistletoe berries, apparently a lot of churches still don't allow them to be in their decorations?
Oh, really?
Because they would kiss and then they would eat a berry, and then they were supposed to be able to make a child that night.
Right.
Apparently.
Yeah, so they would like, the men wouldn't do any craft work or building, etc. Women still had to do their chores, like cleaning, taking care of the kids, of course. And then they would have mass at dawn. And
like several times throughout they would go out and get fucking wasted, and then they'd go to church.
On Christmas Day, they would feast and party. They had and I'm probably gonna butcher this, Saturnalia. Yeah. And that's where they selected a peasant that would rule for the night. And then yeah, and so they would like make their masters do things, and they would like crack jokes and just stuff like that. And then they would have mass at the end of the day.
Yeah, all of this festivities ended by them going to church, and I find that hilarious. This was the only time of year that they were allowed to do things like play dice and cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like outlawed under certain kings in England, but they couldn't do that. So they were only allowed to play it and also most sports, like I don't know what they called it, football, and like what is that, like soccer?
They did like rugby
kind
of sport, and then also what's the arrow?
They were allowed to do archery all year.
Archery, yeah.
Yeah, but other sports, like any other sport, they're like only at Christmas. We don't want you goofing off, Bastards.
So on December 26th, it was the feast of Saint Stephen's, and according to the Book of Acts of Apostles, he went around like he did charity and was like feeding the poor or whatever, gifting the poor, and that angered the Jewish authorities, and he was stoned to death. So that became his day, and it became the day of charity. So it's kind of like
wasn't he like the first martyr of Christendom?
Yeah.
So
he was kind of like a saint, like a Santa Claus kind of thing,
He is one of the inspirations.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, Santa Claus traditions already existed pre his birth. I'm gonna go to the last day. Do you remember any of the other days of note that you want to talk about?
We talked about the 30th day was the Wassail Day, where they go to door to door. Yeah,
caroling.
They carols and they trade. Wassail was like a hot ale cider with spices, and they put
kind of like jungle juice.
They put bread on the bottom for some reason, and then like soaked up all the juices.
Yeah,
and
it reminds me of jungle juice, but with bread at the bottom. Like, right? That's like basically what it was. They just dumped a bunch of shit in there and drank it. And
they would go door to door trading Wassail for like food.
And they would like rhyme at each other with a dead horse skull. Like,
yeah, I found that interesting. Yeah, and then at the end they would give the soaked bread to like the most elderly person in their household or something like that.
And then they would die apparently. Like, oh, so good. That sounds like a good time is all I'm saying.
Right.
So when they got to the 12th day of Christmas, it was called Epiphany. I don't remember why. But basically...
Was it the 12th or the 6th day?
No. The last day is Epiphany. And they still have Epiphany Day in places like Italy. I know they still do it. And they celebrate Christmas later. And basically, a long time ago, like in the Middle Ages and shit, right? New Year's was actually on the first day of spring. But then in Roman calendar, it was on January 1st. So like in England at this time period, they actually had 2 New Years. They had New Year's, like their actual calendar New Year. And then they had New Year's celebration, like from the Vatican. So they kind of like did both. But there was 2 calendars. There was the Julian calendar. Yeah. And then they have the Gregorian calendar, which is solar based, which is what we use. So originally Christmas was like, not necessarily the solstice, but it was the day when the sun was notably one step like towards the north, like towards going back to summer. So like after the solstice happens, you can see the sun move back in the other direction. And that's what Christmas Day was. That's represented the new year. So originally the Julian calendar was on that too, but because they didn't have like a leap year, it migrated. It wasn't a perfect calendar. So when they brought in the Gregorian calendar, they fixed the situation. But by the time they fixed it, the calendar had migrated so much that there was 12 days in between. And that's why they had the 12 days of Christmas to reconcile the 2 calendars. So the day of Epiphany is actually the Eastern Orthodox Church's Christmas. That was really long. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's really fucking weird. So basically that was like where the whole 12 days of Christmas thing came from. Yeah, that's why there was only 12. I quit. Trying to think what else is on here that's worth talking about. Oh my God. Okay. Did you read it all or watch it all about when they canceled Christmas?
Oh yeah, I did. I did read about that.
So the Puritans came to power, like, what was it, the 1640s? The 1640s. Alexander, they like overthrew the British monarchy or whatever, and Alexander Cromwell came in. And this is like mostly British history only. I understand that, but whatever.
Yeah,
This
that's
was
what
really
I got
fascinating.
out of it.
The Puritans didn't like Christmas, and they're like, it's pagan. And like, to be fair, they were right. But also they sucked. So he was like, no Christmas. And people got really angry, and they had to like pass all these laws and like do all this shit. It went on for like 10, 15 years. And then he died, and they invited the king back. And I don't want to say it was only because of Christmas, but I feel like that might have had something to do with it. They invited the king's son to come back and be the ruler again. They're like, we can't do this anymore. So I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. I'm like, Christmas got canceled.
Well, though, some of the traditions migrated to New Year's, and that's why things like so like the caroling and the trick-or-treating and all that shit's basically the same tradition. Well, when you go outside on New Year's and you bang on pots and pans, you're trying to scare the trolls back into the sea, which is the same as trying to scare the bad spirits away with caroling and trick-or-treating. It's the same fucking tradition. We just keep doing it.
Apparently that's where the elves come from too, right? It originated that there's elves that helped scare away the trolls or something.
Yeah, so elves are like they're like hobgoblins, which are like
fairies,
house spirits. And they basically, when you leave cookies out for Santa, you're leaving cookies to like a spirit, like you would do like an old time, or like a lot of countries still do it. Like you leave an offering for like the good spirits. It's the same thing. So when you're leaving cookies out for Santa, you're leaving cookies out for this literal spirit of Christmas, that the spirit of Christmas that goes all the way back. I promised you, goes all the way back to the old man of the forest that people have been celebrating for thousands and thousands of years. And he is the same Christmas spirit. So like Santa is real. He is the spirit of Christmas.
Old man of the forest, Father Frost. There's so many names for him.
And he's a benevolent entity, if you will. He is a spirit. He is a feeling. And so in that way, he is real. He's been here forever. For thousands and thousands of years, we've been celebrating this spirit of Christmas, the spirit of winter. And I feel like that's really special. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I think it's special.
Yeah, so I read this article. It says, Santa Claus, we may owe his earliest influence to Odin, also known as Woden.
Oh, yeah. The hunt thing.
He was a god revered by Germanic peoples in Northern Europe as early as 2 BCE.
Well, it's Thor's dad.
And Odin was celebrated during Yule, a pagan holiday that, took place during midwinter. And during this time, Odin was said to lead the wild hunt, and he has a ghostly procession through the sky.
And also, they thought if you were seen by Odin, he would drag you back to the underworld.
That's scary.
It is scary. And that's where a lot of the spooky traditions, there used to be a lot of like ghost stories and spooky traditions. And now we kind of reserve that for Halloween, but it was originally, again, all one thing. So that's why stories like Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life and Home Alone all come from that vein.
Yeah. There's also St. Nicholas that can be traced back to the 4th century Christian bishop St. Nicholas. He was known for his generosity and secret gift giving. He was born around 280 AD in Patara, modern day Turkey. Okay. And he was known for his kindness, and he gave away his inherited wealth, and he helped the poor and the sick. That's one of the things that Santa Claus originated
from. The roots of like where we get our kind of version of Santa Claus from.
Yeah, in the 19th century, the Dutch began giving gifts in the name of St. Nicholas, calling him Sinterklaas. And this tradition spread over to the European countries after that.
Because Claus is like short for Nicholas.
Yeah, and then Dutch immigrants brought the legend from Sinterklaas to the 17th century New Amsterdam, present-day New York City. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's how it came to America.
Oh, we forgot one big one.
Which one?
Christmas trees.
Oh, Christmas trees, yeah.
So obviously the Yule log, where they'd go cut down a big ass tree and burn it, and like everyone would celebrate in the town square. But Christmas trees, as we know them today, are kind of a German thing. And Germans have always taken Christmas very seriously. And if you think about it, you're like, yeah, Christmas is kind of a German thing. Like they got all those, like, right? Like if you think about it, it kind of like goes with Germany for some reason. It's because Germany has been taking Christmas seriously for like 2,000 years. But they used to bring the tree in, and it's kind of disputed why they used to do it, but this is kind of cool. They used to do these like Christmas plays. And one of them, they did the Tree of Life. And because Christmas trees, any kind of evergreen tree, it represents an ending life because it doesn't die in the winter. So they thought that that was kind of like, help me out here, I can't think of the word, eternal life.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. So they did a reenactment, really like sometime in the Middle Ages, of Adam and Eve, and they put the tree of knowledge. They used a fir tree, and they hung a bunch of apples from it.
Yeah,
and so they think that that's where the tradition of Christmas ornaments
originated
from.
Yeah, so I read that German families would set up a paradise tree in their homes on December 24th.
Yeah,
And it was the feast day of Adam and Eve.
apparently, yeah, which strange, but okay.
Yeah, so it is meant to represent immortality. And then the candles represent Jesus Christ as the light of the world, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know why that's right.
I have a really fun fact too. So another adaptations of like who brings the gifts. They had like old stories about elves bringing gifts and different versions of Father Christmas, and then Krampus was like the bad Santa, and he would torment the kids that were bad. And the Santa Claus version, whatever they called him, would bring gifts, right? So in one of these renditions of the story, they replaced it after Christianity came through, and it was the Christ child that left the good gifts. In the countries use shoes instead of stockings. Other fun fact. And Christ child translated from whatever the Latin was into English. They were trying to say it and they couldn't because we're English speaking and we can't say anything. And they said Kris Kringle.
That's funny.
Isn't that funny? Christ child, Kris Kringle. You can kind of like. That's funny, huh?
There's a lot of South American cultures and stuff that believe it's just baby Jesus that brings the gifts.
Oh, there you go.
Like,
that's cool.
The Peruvian culture, there's a lot of, Colombian culture, of course.
That's cool. Do you guys put shoes out? Because I've found a lot of countries that did shoes instead of stockings.
We never did anything like that.
I'm like, I know you didn't do stockings, but I was curious.
So long before Christianity, like plants and trees that remain green all year, I think we talked about this earlier, had special meaning.
It's the same concept. That's why they're special to Christians. They're special to everyone.
For people in winter. So just as today, we decorate our homes with, pine, spruce, fir trees.
Holly.
Ancient people hung evergreen burls over their doors and windows. And in many countries, it was believed that evergreens would keep away witches and ghosts and evil spirits and illnesses. This is the tree for Christmas Day party at Windsor Castle for over 100 children. Queen Charlotte set up an entire Yule tree in the Queen's Lodge. The tree was decorated with sweets, fruits, toys, and small wax candles.
I can't imagine putting candles on a tree like they did back then. I'm so glad.
I know, it's fire hazard. The tree was considered England's first Christmas tree, and it caught on in upper class circles.
Swear to God.
However, it did not. On fire. It caught on fire. Yeah.
Keep going.
I lost track of where
it caught on in upper class circles.
In upper class circles. It didn't catch on to the common folk at the time, but yeah, it says Queen Victoria and Prince Albert popularized the Christmas tree in the 19th century. Images of their family gathering around the tree were published in the Illustrated London News in 1848.
Nice.
I found that a little interesting. And she was like so over the top. Like, I love her.
She is very interesting. Like, she is a very interesting historical figure. Very fascinating. And just like her rise to power was also like, okay, fun fact. her rise to power, she only became queen. Like, she's the most like influential monarch. I mean, we speak English, okay, so we don't know about everyone, but like Queen Victoria is like pretty much like it, okay. She only became queen because her uncles and her dad didn't have children with their wives. They only had children with their mistresses. And so they like didn't get married and stuff because she was Charlotte's granddaughter, I think, Queen Charlotte. And all of their kids, for some reason, I don't know, it was weird. So basically, they had to go out and like find wives and like make legitimate children to inherit the throne because like it kept passing from brother to brother. And she was just some kind of like random like fifth son's daughter or something crazy. Like she never expected to be queen. She was never expected to be queen. And she got to be queen because there was no other legitimate heirs. And like how many like queen regnants are there really? There's not a lot. There was no male to take the throne. So she kind of just like got it. And then she became like one of the most powerful people in the last 300 years. Like she was at the height of the British Empire. She was the ruler and she ruled for like 60 years. So it's kind of weird.
That's pretty cool. Look at this.
She wasn't like a peasant or anything, but she wasn't like ever expected to be like the queen. Yeah, I saw that picture too. That's cool. Of the 1800s Christmas tree full of candles
from 1850. Like, why did I think that was a good idea?
I mean, I'm sure they only lit them for like a little while,
a second, and then yeah,
just to like do their like thing, and then
their Christmas lighting. Of course, they didn't have Christmas lights back then, so that was their way of lighting the Christmas, and that's why we have Christmas lights. And that's why we have Christmas lights.
That is, and that is underrated.
Yeah,
thank you, electricity.
Right. Thank you for not making our trees flammable. They still are a little bit, but not so bad.
The history of Christmas makes me happy. It makes me feel connected to people from back then. It makes me feel like, and I felt like this too. Like there were times when Christmas was trying to be changed. Cromwell, I'm talking to you. And other times when like, because okay, we're from America. Like the Puritans founded this country and like kind of didn't want to do it, and then eventually immigrants came over and brought the traditions back, and now we have them again. And it's the same with Halloween, with Christmas, with New Year's. Like they found us,
right?
And it doesn't matter how much time. It doesn't matter if you don't know why you light a fire on Christmas. It doesn't matter if you don't know why you sing a Christmas carol or have a tree in your house. You know what? You do it because you're part of humanity.
Right.
You don't have to know why. You don't have to understand the reason behind it. You know it when you feel it.
And it's just like thousands and thousands of years of tradition that have
exactly
passed down those. Yeah.
It is fun to understand. It is fun to understand why there's elves and why we call them Santa Claus. Like it is, but even if I didn't know any of that, it's like it just is. And it always has been. And that's what's cool about it. Like these things don't need to be explained. It's fun to explain them, but it's just part of life, you know?
Yeah.
And even if you can't escape it, it's just part of being alive.
Everybody has their own little idea of what Christmas should be, and that's perfectly okay, you know?
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
I was just like really surprised on how much history there is. Like it's insane. There's just so much. I couldn't wrap my mind around all of it. And like it's like, what more can I learn about today?
A couple of years ago, I went down the rabbit hole and I spent like 3 solid months learning about the history of Christmas. It was bonkers. There is one thing we didn't talk about, and it's because we don't really do it anymore. But there's this thing called the killing of the wren, which
the bird.
Yeah, the random little weird bird that people would go out and kill at Christmas Day. And apparently, and to this day, a lot of postcards will have birds that look like they're sleeping, but they're actually dead.
Oh my God.
And they're meant to represent the killing of the wren, which is the killing of the killing of winter.
Yeah.
And like all the bad things that come with it. Because apparently the wren was a bad omen.
People did weird shit back in the day.
It was like a superstition that they would have. So all like the young boys would go out and try to kill this bird. It was learning about it in the history of Christmas cards because apparently, and I've never thought about it. I'm like, I've seen some of the images they were showing. I'm like, yeah, I've seen that. I just thought the bird was asleep. It was like a snuggled up in a nest bird. No, it's a dead bird. Guys, anytime you see a bird in a nest with its eyes closed, apparently
on a Christmas card,
it's supposed to be a dead wren. Just so you know.
Dang.
I thought it was just tired.
Sleeping.
It was killed by teenage boys in the Middle Ages. But they knew how to party.
They partied hard.
They did. They really did. God, this is so long. We need to stop. We need to stop.
Yeah, we need to stop. Thank you, Whiny Moms. I hope you enjoyed our Christmas episode, actual Christmas episode, and got to, learn about some of this Christmas history. I hope that it was knowledgeable to you guys.
I just hope everyone felt like a little bit more connection to our past. And this year when you celebrate Christmas, I hope you feel that, and you feel all the people who've celebrated Christmas before you, and you feel all the people around the world celebrating Christmas at the same time as you. And this is kind of like, I know not literally everyone in the world celebrates Christmas, but a lot of people do. And it's kind of like the most universal thing that we do. So
yeah, Christmas is a special time.
Remember to, do all the things. Like, subscribe, comment, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
You guys know. We say
guys
this
know.
every time. Merry Christmas to everybody and all your families. And I hope that you guys have a great time. We love y'all.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.